Join me as I take on the challenge of meditating every day for a week to see if it really can be a lifesaver for my mental health. Buddhism, a philosophy that's been around for over 2,500 years, has a wealth of wisdom to offer when it comes to managing our mental health. At its core, Buddhism is about cultivating a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and finding ways to live in harmony with that understanding. One of the key principles of Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, the idea that everything is constantly changing, and that nothing is permanent. This can be a pretty challenging concept to wrap our heads around, but it can also be incredibly liberating. When we let go of our attachment to specific outcomes or desires, we open ourselves up to a sense of freedom and flexibility. Another key principle of Buddhism is the idea of non-self, or the understanding that our sense of self is not fixed or permanent. This can be a bit of a mind-bender, but it's actually incredibly empowering. When we realize that we're not defined by our thoughts or emotions, we're able to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness. And finally, there's the concept of karma, or the idea that our actions have consequences. This isn't just about doing good deeds to get good karma, it's about understanding that every action we take has a ripple effect on ourselves and the world around us. These principles, impermanence, non-self, and karma, form the foundation of Buddhist thought, and they have a profound impact on our mental health. By embracing these principles, we can begin to let go of our attachment to stress and anxiety, and find a sense of peace and calm in the midst of chaos. Mental health is a topic that's very close to my heart, and I know it's something that many of us struggle with. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health issue each year. That's a staggering statistic, and it's something that we need to talk about. Whether it's anxiety, depression, or something else entirely, mental health issues can be incredibly debilitating. And yet, despite the fact that we're more connected than ever before, we're still struggling to find effective ways to cope. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, and to forget to take care of ourselves. We get busy, we get stressed, and before we know it, we're feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. And then there's the added pressure of social media, where everyone seems to be living their best life, except for us, of course. It's no wonder that we're struggling to find ways to manage our mental health. But the thing is, we don't have to face these challenges alone. There are resources available to us, and there are people who care. It's okay to reach out for help, and it's okay to admit that we're struggling. And yet, despite all of this, many of us are still struggling to find effective coping mechanisms. We try medication, we try therapy, and we try self-care, but somehow, we still end up feeling stuck. That's where Buddhism comes in. By embracing the principles of impermanence, non-self, and karma, we can begin to find a sense of peace and calm in the midst of chaos. We can learn to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than fear and anxiety. And we can find ways to cultivate compassion and understanding, both for ourselves and for those around us. So what does this look like in practice? For many people, it starts with mindfulness, the practice of paying attention to the present moment, without judgment or distraction. This can be as simple as focusing on our breath, or paying attention to the sensations in our body. It's about being present, rather than getting caught up in our thoughts or worries. And it's incredibly powerful. Meditation is another key practice in Buddhism, and it's something that can have a profound impact on our mental health. By sitting quietly and focusing our minds, we can begin to calm our thoughts and emotions, and find a sense of peace and clarity. It's not always easy, of course, our minds can be pretty restless, and it's easy to get frustrated. But with practice, we can learn to cultivate a sense of calm and clarity that stays with us, even in the midst of chaos. And then there's compassion, the practice of cultivating kindness and understanding towards ourselves and others. This is huge, because so often, we're our own worst critics. We beat ourselves up over mistakes, and we struggle to find self-acceptance. But when we practice compassion, we begin to see ourselves in a different light. We start to understand that we're all doing the best we can, and that we're all worthy of love and acceptance. One of the most powerful things about Buddhism is its focus on the present moment. Rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, we're encouraged to focus on the here and now. And this can be incredibly liberating. When we let go of our regrets and our fears, we're free to live in the present, and that's a truly beautiful thing. In fact, the present moment is all we ever really have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain, but the present is always available to us. And when we focus on the present, we begin to see the world in a different light. We start to appreciate the beauty and wonder of life, and we find a sense of peace and contentment. Of course, this isn't always easy. Life can be messy and complicated, and it's easy to get caught up in our thoughts and emotions. But with practice, we can learn to cultivate a sense of awareness and understanding that stays with us, even in the midst of challenge. For me, Buddhism has been a game changer. It's helped me to find a sense of peace and calm in the midst of chaos, and it's given me a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me. And I know I'm not alone. There are countless people out there who have found solace and comfort in Buddhist teachings, and who have used them to improve their mental health. One of those people is Sarah, who I met a few years ago. Sarah had been struggling with anxiety and depression for years, and she was desperate for a solution. She tried medication, she tried therapy, and she tried self-care, but nothing seemed to work. That was until she stumbled upon Buddhism. With its focus on mindfulness, meditation, and compassion, Sarah found a sense of peace and calm that she had never known before. The results were nothing short of miraculous. Sarah's anxiety and depression began to lift, and she found a sense of confidence and self-acceptance that she had never known before. And it wasn't just her mental health that improved, her relationships improved, her work improved, and her overall sense of well-being improved. Sarah's story is a powerful testament to the impact that Buddhism can have on our mental health. It's not a magic pill, of course. It takes practice, patience, and dedication. But for those who are willing to put in the work, the results can be truly life-changing. So what can we take away from all of this? For me, it's clear that Buddhism offers a powerful toolkit for managing our mental health. By embracing the principles of impermanence, non-self, and karma, we can find a sense of peace and calm in the midst of chaos. We can learn to cultivate compassion and understanding towards ourselves and others, and we can find ways to live in harmony with the world around us. It's not always easy, of course. Life can be messy and complicated, and it's easy to get caught up in our thoughts and emotions. But with practice, patience, and dedication, we can learn to cultivate a sense of awareness and understanding that stays with us, even in the midst of challenge. So I want to leave you with a challenge today. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breath, and see what happens. Try incorporating mindfulness and meditation into your daily routine, and see how it makes you feel. And most importantly, be kind to yourself. Remember that you're doing the best you can, and that you're worthy of love and acceptance, no matter what. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of Buddhism and mental health. If you have any thoughts or experiences you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about mindfulness and meditation, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll be exploring some powerful strategies for managing stress and anxiety. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.